Okay, this is the first part of the Slump Hump mold project that we're going to be working on. The first thing you need to do is get 2 of these painter sticks from over in the tool closet and get a rolling pin, and make sure that when you roll this out that the rolling pin reaches both of these so that your clay is flush and flat and even all the way across in the entire length of whatever mold you're using. So if you're using a long 18-inch mold, you need to have a slab of clay that is 18 inches long. Then you're going to move your sticks out of the way after you've rolled it and put your slump mold down. Make sure you have smoothed the edges, okay, so that it's nice and clean. Take your slab, mine is a little dried out, it's okay, and set it on top. And then what you're going to do is take the water bottle, spray the surface, take your sponge, make sure it's nice and wet, and you're going to slowly start working the surface like this. You're going to come and do maybe 3 or 4 passes in this direction before you move it, and go all the way across. Then you're going to turn it and do this direction. Don't press too hard, especially on these corners. It'll shove it down and ruin your mold or your clay. It'll rip through the clay if you push too hard. So make sure you're not like pressing super hard. You're just kind of pressing gently and softly, and when the water soaks all the way in, spray it again and keep working that area all the way to the bottom. Then turn it again. Keep going this direction and slumping it this way. Slowly. Do not press too hard. And then the final turn. You're really not going to see a huge impression unless you keep working this, but if you work too fast, that's when people ruin it. So you have to go kind of slowly. And your big areas will slump faster than your small areas, so you may have to spend a little bit more time on some of the smaller areas that you know are there. I have like a small area there that's struggling to see any impression at all. Again, don't work it too fast. So I'm going to continue pressing this. And then I'm going to keep going around and spinning it, but just continually, slowly slumping it down more and more every turn and pass. Then you're going to take that knife tool at your desk, or you can use a needle tool, whichever works, and you're going to cut off the excess clay off the edge of the styrofoam. We're not ready yet to cut it out of the mold, so don't go chopping it out. So I'm cut that edge. And this one, I'm having trouble finding the edge. Aha. Okay. And cut that edge off, and this edge, and that edge. When you are done, you need to let this sit and get slightly leather hard before you can pull it out. And this is the part you need to get done today, if possible. Especially while I'm gone. I'm going to pause it. Okay, so now I've slumped this pretty deep. You really can work this surface as deep as you want to, but don't go too fast. I've spent about 10 minutes on mine, maybe a little less, and that's about how far down I've gone. At this point, this is when I want mine to be a sculpture, so I don't need it to be super slumped or super deep. So I'm going to stop, and what I would do right now is bag this until it was leather hard. And then when it was leather hard, like the next day I'd come to class, and that's when you're actually going to cut about 1 inch away from the actual edge of the slump. So you'll cut out here, and then from there I'll show you how to connect the second one, but I'll do that in next class.